Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of the show known as Scam Economy. Woo, it's been a while. It's been a little bit since I've seen you all on this show, haven't I? Hasn't it? Whatever I said, one of those works. So, hello everyone. It is I, the host of Scam Economy, Matt Binder, and we're doing a show straight to live stream. Sometimes I do a taped version of Scam Economy, unlike my other show where I usually do a live stream. But Scam Economy has is back just in time. And I gotta say, so I was looking. I wasn't sure when the last time I did an episode of Scam Economy was, and it's been like half a year. Um, the last episode of Scam Economy came out at the very end of May of 2024. Now, I probably did an episode or two that was related to crypto sometime on my other show, Doomed. Uh, Maybe. I feel like it hasn't been that long since I talked about crypto on a live stream. I mean, I do so many shows. I'm on the Majority Report. I do my Thursday night panel show with a bunch of other YouTubers and podcasters known as Leftist Mafia, and I could not believe though that while I did all those other shows regularly, I was derelict in my Scam Economy duties. But here I am, back, refreshed, ready for an all new season of Scam Economy, I guess you can say. Oh man, and it's it's gonna be something, folks, because we are in official, if you've been listening to this show for the past, this is episode 59. If you've been listening to the past 58 episodes, um you might have thought as time went on that, crypto was dying down as the season of the show known as Scam Economy continued on. But I guess it's like the last episode of the Star Wars trilogy, right? Somehow Palpatine has returned. Somehow crypto is back in full throttle. Uh, yeah, well, that's a good thing for this show, right? If we're gonna look on the bright side of things. Anyway, let's get into how somehow Palpatine has returned. And this is good because I'll probably in the episodes going forward, I will probably be uh you know, getting deeper into all these various things we're about to touch upon. But I think a good way to kick off Scam Economy's return episode is to discuss in a quick summarized format, which will probably take up this entire episode. Uh, just in case you want to know what I mean by summary. Uh, let's take a quick look at how exactly we've gotten from, oh, crypto winter, the end of and I always made sure to tell you all that crypto is not dead. In all the previous episodes, I made sure to explain how crypto had not gone anywhere. It just fell out of favor with the mainstream and retail investors and your mom and dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, who were seeing the Super Bowl ads, hearing all about crypto, threw their money in and then lost it all. So that was the difference I made sure to explain. But now crypto has a new, I guess, power, you can say. And that power runs straight through the Donald Trump White House, because Trump is back and he's, unlike last time, pro crypto now. And he's rolling back all the crypto, and it wasn't, I shouldn't say all the crypto regulation as if there was so much holding crypto down. But whatever there was to make sure cryptocurrency, which so badly wants to be treated like a legitimate financial institution or instrument, but of course they don't want to be subject to the same rules that legitimate financial services and instruments are subject to. Whatever little regulation they had on them, that's all rolled back, and they're about to experience a new golden age, folks. A golden age. A golden age of grift. So let's get right to it. Let's discuss what happened. And to start at the beginning, let's roll back to, we don't need to go all the way back to what I already covered with how crypto crashed, due to the failure of a number of crypto loan companies and financial services companies, and then the FTX bankruptcy, which, if only Sam Bankman-Fried had waited a couple of, maybe like a year. If he'd only waited a year and backed a different horse, he thought the Democrats was the route to power in politics, because they were the crypto-friendly party in his view. Way back in like 2021, 2022. Little did he know that basically, which I don't know why he didn't know this. Maybe he just really never thought Donald Trump would find his way back in the White House. But little did he know, somehow, if you ever want to wonder how smart this guy was, little did he know that if you buy Donald Trump off, you can have him believe in anything. So let's go to that as the beginning. And that is basically how crypto bought their way into the White House and really Congress as a whole. And I'm not going to get too deep into this. We will definitely be doing episodes specifically on this in the weeks and months ahead. But crypto came big during the 2024 election season. There were a number of crypto advocacy groups, such as Coinbase's Stand with Crypto, and there were a number of pro-crypto super PACs. For example, Fair Shake, that poured money into congressional races, tons of money into congressional races, and they did so without making it clear that they were getting involved for specifically cryptocurrency related interests. These were very powerful people, very rich people. Some of the people who run the biggest crypto companies and exchanges, who were running ads against certain candidates without saying they were running against those candidates because they were about crypto. In fact, many of these ads never mentioned cryptocurrency once. They basically just attacked that candidate over a slew of other issues under the disguise of just being like a group that cared about like bipartisanship and Congress and whatever specific pet issue they were going after. In all, 245 million, around that amount, 245 million were spent by these pro-crypto groups in the 2024 election. And they were very successful. They only lost a handful of races. I think you can count them on one hand. They took out some very pro working class, pro crypto regulation Congress people. Off the top of my head, probably the best example of who was taken down by crypto money is now former Democratic Senator in Ohio, Sherrod Brown. And they basically helped this scenario where we have a Republican in the White House and a Republican Senate and a Republican House, an entirely Republican Congress, Republican legislative branch, a Republican executive branch. And I mean, whether they helped make this happen, because Trump hasn't installed any new Supreme Court justices yet, but who knows what's going to happen in the next 4 years. But a Republican, judicial branch as well. And crypto is ecstatic. They got their win because Donald Trump is all aboard the crypto train right now. This was a guy who was very anti-cryptocurrency the last time around when he was president, but he did some soul searching over the past 4 years, and that soul searching was basically crypto money poured into his coffers, and various digital asset companies explained to him how he can make so much money getting into the DeFi, decentralized finance industry, and launch some crypto projects while he's at it too. And we'll get into that shortly. We'll get right into that. But let's stick to November 2024 when the pro crypto candidate Donald Trump wins, thanks to not entirely, but obviously with a very strong helping hand from the crypto lobby. And immediately after Donald Trump wins, Bitcoin spiked. In fact, Bitcoin, for the first time ever, hit six figures, and the that spike continued. It swelled and pumped Bitcoin all the way up to, I think, 105, 106. I want to say it was the peak. It went above 100K. It's been sitting around there. Sometimes it dips into the 90K range, but that's where it's pretty much been since the election. And that's because the crypto industry believes that this is going to be a golden age of crypto because of Donald Trump being in office, because all these Congress members who kept their seat or won a seat, thanks to the crypto lobby, those senators and House members are going to have to thank the people that made this happen. And so you're going to see very pro-crypto legislation come out of this Congress. And so crypto is basically, ecstatic. This is their time. And, you had Donald Trump. He appointed David Sachs, a tech entrepreneur, guy who made a ton of money selling his startup during the tech boom. He appointed, and also I should mention, good friend of Elon Musk. Trump appointed David Sachs to be his crypto and AI czar. So you have a pro crypto guy there, someone who is invested in crypto companies, a guy who is shared a little too much on his podcast All In about being getting in early with certain cryptocurrencies like Solana, and they were supposed to be holding, but they sold a little off, dumped a little on the retail investors when maybe they were telling everybody to buy, so a good investment. And then you got Trump signing executive orders, specifically an executive order that rolled back crypto regulations that were put in place by the Biden administration. Like I say, very like very small sort of regulatory, um, you know, devices that they needed to, like, for example, they now need to know their customers. Like this is if you were if you had ever purchased on a crypto exchange, just to see what it was, you probably received these messages from every exchange saying that they had to abide by, KYC laws, know your customer, and they needed your information because, it's important that if you're using a financial institution, that this financial institution knows who you are, so you can't, launder money, use your funds for illicit or illegal activities. You don't want someone running a drug trafficking trade, or I don't know, hiring hitmen and basically being able to do it without their fingerprints anywhere to be found. Little things like that. Yeah, but crypto wasn't happy that they had to abide by all these regulations and rules. So here you have crypto in a new boom, and I will say, I have been pleasantly surprised that it hasn't entirely won its way back into the mainstream. Like, when this show started, crypto had just started to ascend into the mainstream, and with the commercials on TV, complete normies, non-crypto investors, your parents, people who had no idea what crypto was, asking about this stuff, getting involved, wanting to get involved because they didn't want to miss out on the big boom. I've been pleasantly surprised that it hasn't gotten to that level yet. I think maybe for some people, those memories of losing a lot of money just a few years ago too fresh in their mind. Um, so I think smartly they've stayed away. And also, I should say, I went to CES, the Consumer Electronic Show, earlier this year in Las Vegas, like I've been going every year for the past few years to cover the event. And I always like to pay attention to, and after having gone for a number of years, I have this sort of baseline to follow here. I've always paid attention, have been really enamored, not by like which companies are there showing off what. What I like to pay attention to, obviously I pay attention to that because that's what I covered, things that are there, but something that's important to keep in the back of your mind for myself while I attend this, that sort of gives you a good idea of where the industry and certain spaces within the industry are going. I like to, take a look around and see what's not here from last year, or how are companies marketing themselves differently from last year. And what's interesting to me is crypto, NFTs, sort of Web3 as a whole, pretty much almost completely absent from CES. After just a year or two ago, crypto was everywhere. Every company was a Web3 company, whether they were doing something Web3 or not. They just liked using the buzzwords. Every company had an NFT. Excuse me. Every company had an NFT to give away. Every company was telling you about the metaverse and how you can mint this on the blockchain and do that via the blockchain. There was very little of that. NFTs not even there at all. I did not come across a single NFT mention, let alone a company doing NFTs. There were a few like Web3 blockchain companies like doing things in that space. They were even like corralled into a very small section as if CES was like, oh God, these guys, put them in the corner together. They're embarrassing now. I mean, we'll take their money, but put them over there. I mean, it was a huge difference. And what I took away from that was not that like crypto is dead, Because again, I said this when crypto was during the crypto winter, we're in the good times for crypto and in the bad times for crypto. No, even during those bad times, I said, there's still a lot of people in that space with a lot of money on the line, and they got the money to spend. But what I took out of their absence from CES was that the tech industry, I think at this point at least, we'll see how it changes going forward, but I think the tech space is done with crypto as a technology product. And that includes, everything else I just mentioned, the metaverse, NFTs, uh, blockchain to an extent. I think people, whether it's just retail investors or crypto investors or technology entrepreneurs, startup founders, VCs, uh, angel investor, whatever, all of them, I think they've sort of come to the conclusion, again, at least for now, that crypto is a financial product. The idea of crypto as a technology product, at least again for now, and I say this because tech is currently obsessed with their new shiny object, and that's AI. That was the pivot right after the crypto bubble burst last time around. And they're like, fuck, we put all our chips in crypto. Every friggin' VC firm, every one of these guys were all in on crypto. All they were talking about, that was the buzz. That was the buzzword. That was the trendy thing. But then that fell apart and they quit, and OpenAI with their timing with ChatGPT, it just was perfect for the complete pivot. And the tech world is all in with AI right now. So again, I'm just saying for now. But I think the dream of crypto as a technological innovation is currently, I'm not going to say dead, but it's down and out. It's in the ER. They're obsessed with AI right now. Crypto right now is a financial product wholly. And the way crypto is going, I think it's becoming even more obvious to people that that dream of crypto becoming an actual currency, that dream has got to be dead at this point. And I'm using that word dead in this instance. Because the idea that this was something that was going to shake up the system and destroy the old money financial institutions couldn't be more ludicrous right here, right now. Because you have those very institutions now. I mean, just look at the president of the United States, Donald Trump. Old money, Donald Trump. Old school real estate investor. And then you have all these different financial investment firms getting involved. You have crypto being traded on various platforms that you do stock trading on. And then you have the crypto exchanges specifically that pump meme coins. And we're going to get to meme coins in a second. It's gambling. And I've always said this. It's gambling. That's what I liken it to. It's gambling. If you want to gamble, and crypto is your craps, crypto is your poker, crypto is your blackjack, crypto is your slots, then by all means, if that's what you want to do, it's your money. Who am I? But the idea of crypto as like an investment, especially with and let's get into this now because I think this is let's get into because I mentioned the Trump thing and him enriching himself with crypto because if he can make money off something, he's pro it. And then I just mentioned meme coins. So let's get into this. So Trump wins the election. Crypto is cheering, and Bitcoin is surging. Um, uh, Trump is rolling back crypto regulation. He's installing pro crypto people in his administration. Everything's coming up tulips for crypto. Rose, I did it for you, Rose. Uh, but then we're coming towards the inauguration. Donald Trump's going to be inaugurated. Here we go. Inauguration weekend hits. Big events. Every single company that wants to get in bed with the administration is throwing parties. You got the big tech companies, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. You got Google. You got who else was there? Jeez, Elon Musk. All these companies. And you got there was a bunch of companies that donated to all those companies I just mentioned too. They all donated to Donald Trump's inauguration fund. I believe Robinhood and Kraken and Coinbase and a few other crypto exchanges. They did money raising for Trump's inauguration, where they held parties. Um, they all bent the knee so they can get what they want, enrich themselves. The rich get richer, baby. That's how this whole market works. But then Friday night, right before the inauguration, I believe that's January 17th, there's a crypto ball being held. It's one of the first inauguration weekend events. And this is the one that's bringing out all the celebrities. You had Snoop Dogg, for example, a guy who last time Trump was elected, he had some very strong words for any sellout who dared to perform for Donald Trump. You had Snoop Dogg performing for Donald Trump at the crypto ball in 2025. Amazing. Basic. It's incredible how people have no problem selling out, no integrity. Just who cares as long as it lines their wallets and fills their bank account. And these people are already insanely rich. It's not even like, you know what? I get it. That's someone who's clawed their way and always, never got their dues, and now is their time to, cash in. I get it. It's not even that. These are people who have so much money. They could skip the one event if they really wanted to. But no. So at the crypto ball though, Donald Trump surprised everybody because he's suddenly on Truth Social. And then about, what is it, like 30 minutes later on Elon Musk's X, the everything app formerly known as Twitter, he posts about a Trump coin, a Trump token, just out of the blue. No one was expecting it, apparently. Well, no one was expecting it outside of his circle of insiders. But he just posts about this Trump token, and he makes it clear in his posts, too, that you're buying memes. Have fun. Like, he really is trying hard to be like, this is not financial advice without saying that. Trying really hard to say this isn't like this isn't a commodity. This isn't you're not buying a asset in that way. This isn't something the SEC should be coming after me for. That's another thing I forgot to mention. That's another reason why the crypto world was so happy, because the SEC, headed up by their critic Gary Gensler, is over. In comes the new pro crypto SEC. Get ready for it. But anyway, you have Trump dropping this meme coin, and immediately it pumps. I know people who saw it when it was like at 75 cents. It was much lower than that. It started much lower than that. I know people who saw it was like $10. It went up to like 30, 40. And by the next morning, it peaked around like $70, $75. And people made a lot of money off of this. And by people, I mean the insiders. Because you can look at who made a lot of money off of this for the most part. It's all on the blockchain. And there are people who made millions off this by either A, getting in so early that this was insider trading. Like they knew about this before it went into the public eye. They got in super early to the point where, $100 could buy you a lot of Trump tokens. Or B, they got in sort of early, probably after people already knew about it. Trump already promoted it. But they had a lot of money to put into it. There are people who put tens of millions of dollars into this. And they walked away with tens of millions of dollars. There are people who made millions off the Trump meme coin. That's what meme coins are. For people who don't know, so anyone can make a meme coin. Anyone can make it. It's basically a pump and dump crypto token. And what I mean by pump and dump crypto token, I mean the legit crypto tokens aspire to be a Ponzi scheme. Like that's the aspiration, to be around long enough where you're like a well-oiled multi-level marketing scheme, an MLM. You drop something to get new investors in. You sell off, so you sell off some, the old investors sell off some. Then you drop something new to get more investors in. You make the token buyers believe that there is some crypto, people love this word, utility to your token. That you have a big project in mind. They love using that term too, project, my crypto project. That there's something here. That they're actually investing in something. Because again, these are all just fucking numbers on a screen. You don't get anything in return other than a number on a screen when you invest in cryptocurrency. When you buy a token, it's a number on a screen. You get no service, no product. The entire point, unless this project makes you believe that there is going to be a utility attached to that token, you're buying a number on the screen that you hope other people buy also, which makes your number on the screen worth more than their number on the screen, until eventually you sell your number on the screen to the next sucker who buys it for even more, so that the people you unload it on, they can also hopefully unload it on that next sucker, and so on and so forth. Now, some crypto tokens are successful at this, and they get to that MLM status. They get to that Ponzi status where they're able to keep the facade going to the point where they look like they're an actual legitimate company or organization, and that there's something you're actually investing in, something real that you're actually investing in. Meme coins, for the most part, don't aspire to this. Now there are some that do, so they try to convince you to drop your money on and invest. But meme coins basically are openly a casino. You look at all the meme coins that are dropping, and there are literally dozens dropping every few minutes. And you try to back the right horse. And then you got to jump off the back of that horse before it breaks its leg about 5 minutes into the race. I mean, that's basically what meme coins are. you have people investing in meme coins, and the whole purpose is to dump when you think it'll hit the peak before someone else dumps because they thought it hit the peak. And a lot of times the person who walks away, the only person who walks away with money, is the person who created the meme coin and then either just held on to a bunch of tokens they created for free, or were like the first to buy at the most rock bottom price. And then when number goes up, they just sell off all their holdings, basically taking the entire pool that everyone had invested into for themselves, thus making everyone else's investment completely and entirely utterly worthless because there's no money in the pool anymore. That one guy just took it all. So that's essentially what a meme coin is. And so Trump launched this meme coin, and it was very successful for a meme coin, no doubt about it. And the digital asset company that helped Trump create this, they did a scheme that helps crypto investors feel more comfortable with investing in these. And that's basically, in layman's terms, they basically locked Trump's investment up, like Trump's holdings up. Like Trump is holding a lot. You've probably seen all the headlines about how Trump made himself billions of dollars richer. Now, as much as I'd like to call Trump a scammer, well, he's a scammer, but as less as I like to call Trump a scammer in this instance, it's slightly inaccurate because he technically hasn't scammed anyone yet because he has his holdings locked up. He's just a paper billionaire. He can't sell any of his holdings. They're locked away. And as the months and years go by, little by little, some of those holdings will be then made available to him. And that's when he can sell. And the reason this makes crypto investors feel more comfortable is because that means the holder of the most of this asset, they can't just unload like how I just in those examples I just gave you earlier. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. I need not water, soda, because I need caffeine. There we go. So for a meme coin, Trump's meme coin is rather successful in terms of it didn't shit the bed and completely die right away. Now, the funny thing is, in the ultimate irony is that the crypto world who rejoiced in Donald Trump's election just like 2 months ago, and we're celebrating all the way up until the inauguration weekend. Now, a good portion of them are pissed. In fact, some of them were saying that they thought Biden was actually, if they knew this would happen, they would have went with Biden because Biden would have been better for them. Because this is what happened. For a lot of these guys, they want crypto to be seen as legit. They really do. Because that'll help their actual investment, the long-term crypto investors, people who actually believe in crypto. But meme coins basically pull the wool off the sheep's back, and they show you exactly what the space is. And they would argue that's not what the space is. And if to that argument, I would say, okay, if that's your argument, meme coins just took over your fucking space. Any sort of legitimate crypto is basically ceding ground to meme coins now. When Trump launched his meme coin, you had a complete tank of the rest. The rest of the market tanked. There were tons of tokens, tons of cryptocurrencies, meme coins or otherwise, that tanked because people saw what was happening with the Trump coin. And so they ran to sell off their other holdings to then invest in Trump's token. So that tanked whatever crypto was trying to grow its user base and investor pool. And Now, obviously, this ebbs and flows. Some have regained, some have bounced back, some are still feeling that pain. But from what I heard, actually, Trump world was a little bit shocked at how much this took off. Because now remember, they had previously they have another crypto project, World Liberty Financial. This is what I said earlier. One of those more like legitimate crypto outfits. It's like a crypto investment uh, initiative, and the interesting thing there is that like it did not take off the way this did, which again gives you a good idea of sort of where the space is. Meme coins are the thing. Meme coins are what crypto is. At least for now, if you want to argue, but it is what it is. And Trump basically legitimized them. I mean, how perfect is it that the guy who has casinos basically stuck his flag in the ground on the crypto ground in the area that was all about the crypto casino. Now, like I was saying, the Trump world wasn't quite prepared for this to take off. So it seems like this is why their next move was to launch another token. They launched the Melania token 2 days after Trump dropped. And again, right now the Trump meme coin has been, bouncing back and forth in the $20-$30 range. Like I said, it was up like 70 around $75 at its peak. And it completely dropped off and more than halved after they launched a Melania token just 2 days later, basically showcasing to anyone who was investing, like legitimately, trying to legitimately invest as much as, whatever legitimate means in this space, that holy shit, they're just trying to fucking squeeze whatever money out of this. There's actually no there with the Trump meme coin. It's just a money ploy. I mean, big shocker for these people, but Trump trying to make money as quickly as possible. Wow, that's his end goal. Wow, who knew? But that was what it took for them to be like, whoa, wait a minute. And so they pulled out and sold. And so, Melania pretty much tanked really quickly. I mean, it's still around there, like $1 or $2, I think. It's around like the $2 some odd range. But they had a good thing, and they wanted more. They wanted to try to recreate that Trump success, which I don't know why they thought that would happen with Melania token. I mean, you could just see in just the broader picture, even just the political world, that this whole Republican trifecta right now is basically because of Donald Trump and only Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the best thing that ever happened to the Republican Party. But it's only about Donald Trump. A great example is there was just a race in a special election, I believe, in Iowa, or state Senate level, in an area that like Trump won by like double-digit percentages, and the Democrat won just this past week by a good margin too. Why? Because for the Republican base, it's not about being a Republican. It's about being MAGA. It's about Trump. And they don't have anyone who could recreate Trump, at least as of right now, in January of 2025. Certainly isn't Melania. So, Melania didn't take off. People lost money in Melania. People lost money in Trump too, you should know. Like, that's where the money comes from. Anyone who walked away with more money took that money from the suckers who lost money. You could see people who lost money right on the blockchain. You could see the transactions. There are people who lost a lot of money on Trump. You see number going up and you go, oh, it's just going to keep going. So you buy in. Little did you know, you bought in just when everyone else was dropping their bags and you're left holding it. So, if you're wondering where Trump was, by the way, on all this, a reporter asked him about his meme coin just last week. And he was like, I don't know much about it other than I launched it. Other than it was very successful, he said. Just to give you an idea of how much he cares about it or how much he knows about the crypto space. He was studying up how to how to mint a coin on the blockchain, right? He was studying it up. He was sitting on YouTube watching the 20-minute how to launch your own meme coin videos, right? Yeah. He doesn't care about shit. He didn't do any of this. Someone was like, let's do this, we'll make a lot of money. He was like, throw my fucking name on it and let's make some money. That's exactly what happened, obviously. Now, they're now trying to give it some utility. They're now trying to do that play I told you about. Apparently, you can buy Trump merchandise with Trump's token now, with the Trump meme coin. Real utility there. I mean, oh, God. I bought this MAGA hat with a Trump meme coin. Wow, changing the world. You could also have just used PayPal or your credit card or Stripe or whatever Trump's merch store uses. Who the fuck knows? Oh God, we are really in the golden age of grift right now. Folks, and I did not realize this would take this long actually, because I was planning on going into AI for a little bit, but I think the best thing to do before just shoveling all this garbage into one episode, I think the best thing to do, honestly, is to just say, we'll get to AI later. The last episode or two of Scam Economy before I took that unplanned break was about how I was going to cover more AI because that's where the tech world was pivoting into. And for people who want a little bit more information, the reason that they took that break was because I was sort of getting a little bit burnt out. I was doing 2 shows all on my own, and then I was on 2 other shows. And then on top of that, my day job is a reporter, but I'm a tech reporter. So I was doing a lot. And on top of that, taking care of my kids and things like that. So, I got a little bit burnt out and I had to take a little unplanned sabbatical from not everything. If you were watching my live streams and stuff, you'll know I've been here every week. Some weeks I was doing 3 shows, some weeks I was doing 2 shows. But I've been here. YouTube.com/Matt Binder. If you want to catch the live streams I do. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder if you prefer to watch there. You could also drop a super chat or a super thanks on YouTube or become a YouTube member. You could subscribe on YouTube with a paid membership if you'd like to support. Also, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. Basically, at no extra cost to you, you can force Jeff Bezos to give a little bit of money to one of your favorite creators. He's already given money to Trump. Why not force him to give like $2 to your favorite Twitch streamer? I'm telling you this because I hope it'll be me. Twitch.tv/Matt Binder. But even if it's not me, and by the way, you need to manually redo this every month. Like once you subscribe with a Twitch Prime subscription, the free one, that comes with your Amazon Prime subscription, they don't auto renew because that's where they want to get you. They want you to forget, so they don't have to give that extra couple bucks to your favorite creator. So every month, renew it. And if you don't want to give it to me, just give it to somebody. Make sure Bezos ain't getting that extra couple bucks. Patreon.com/MattBinder to support the podcasts I do. Scam Economy is included at scameconomy.com. This episode of the live stream, for you live stream viewers, you're about to see it up on the Scam Economy podcast feed, I should say, at scameconomy.com, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, Spotify. If you haven't already given this show a podcast, if you haven't already given this show a review on your favorite podcast platform, like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do so. I think the most recent review I got was from a crypto fan who was super pissed at me and rubbing it in that Bitcoin hit like 6 figures and how I'm now poor because I didn't invest in Bitcoin or whatever. Which, again, I've said this time and time again. My critique of the space, my calling it a multi-level marketing scheme, a Ponzi scheme, a pump and dump scheme, a scam, a grift, the entire thing is a scam economy. My feelings about that have zero to do with how well the scam market is going. It has nothing to do with how much Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency is worth. Because after all, scams proliferate because scams are successful. People make a lot of money off of scams and grifts and schemes. Of course they do. Otherwise, people wouldn't do them. People make a lot of money, millions and millions, billions. It's $1 billion market. Trillions, $1 trillion market. People make a lot of money off of this stuff. So, my analysis of the situation never has anything really to do with how much the market is placing Bitcoin or whatever. But that guy was very pissed and he thought he was rubbing it in. What pissed me off wasn't what he was saying. What pissed me off was he gave me a bad review on Apple Podcasts. It hurt my overall review rating. Listen, if you don't like the show, feel free to leave a bad review. But don't give me a bad review because Bitcoin is doing better than ever. Nothing to do with the show. It's the opposite of what I say on this show. So if you want, leave a review, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just search Scam Economy. You'll find the show. What else? Right. All right. So I've been teasing this newsletter. I had a few posts over the past few months, some of which did very well, broke some news. I was just sort of, feeling around for it, seeing how it was going. I was impressed with how it went. So I am launching a newsletter. I've been saying I was going to do it. I'm just getting things ready. It's going to be ready to go. Any moment now, there'll be posts going up for it. I have not launched the paid aspect of the newsletter. There'll be a paid aspect of it. And for the first time ever, I will be paywalling content. For the most part, everything on Scam Economy and Doomed, my other show, it's free. People give to help me keep the show going. But, what they get out of it is a second half of the show, like a membership-only section where I take calls and read messages and super chats. They get that in a podcast feed. That's, still streamed for everybody. But the newsletter will be paywalled for some of it. But you get a ton of free content too. Subscribe now at disruptionist.com. That's disruptionist.com. Subscribe to it for free. Whether you decide to pay for it or not when the paid portion of it launches, you don't have to. There'll be tons of free stuff regardless, but there's some good stuff I'm working on. There's a reason I haven't posted anything yet, I'm working on a bunch of good stuff, so I have some stuff in the bag. So I have things going forward to make it worth your hard-earned money. With all that said, I am going to go on to the next part of this live stream where I will take your calls and read your super chats. But if you're listening to the free podcast feed of this show, I thank you for sticking around and keeping this podcast in your subscriptions. And I will see you all very soon next time in the scam economy.
Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
All right, everyone. Hello, how you all doing? I'm going to open the podcast. I'm going. Um. Give me 1 second. All right, that number is 646-303-7337. That's 646-303-7337. Please call in and I will take your phone calls as they pop up on board here. I'll read some super chats while we wait. No, everyone gets the post show. I see. You just got to wait for it to move on over to that. All right. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. In celebration of the return of both Trump and scam economy, I would like to announce the launch of my new Looks Around the Kitchen Fajita Mix Coin. Invest now while you can at the low price of $10,000 each. Ooh, I'm going to invest right now. Thank you, Chris, a.k.a. Cult of Personality Birch, for becoming a YouTube member. Tokyo Hans with another super chat. The new camera quality is insane. Each beard hair is so visible. Yes. For people who didn't watch my Doomed stream last week, I have totally invested your membership money in this show fully. New camera setup, multicam for when it becomes necessary, and it will as I figure out how to integrate this into the show. I have a new mic set up that I still need to set up. I'm not even using it yet. I bought a Mac Mini M4, so everything's going faster, everything's smoother, everything should be higher quality. Let's go to the phones. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Charlie in Washington. Oh, hang on.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Can you give me 1 second while I raise your volume? Okay, say that again. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Charlie from Washington.
Hey, Charlie from Washington. What's up? What would you like to talk about? Invest in any good meme coins lately?
No.
Good.
No, I wanted to talk about some of these trans executive orders that have been coming out.
Please, let's do it. Yes.
Because the one about the federal IDs, it appears that it'll only be federal IDs, so things like your licenses aren't affected yet. All that said, if you're a trans person in the audience, do not change your gender marker. reason to put you on any kind of list or take any kind of information. Do not out yourself. Do not break stealth. You know, it for me, mine's an X. So, and I'm theoretically safe in Washington State, and I say theoretically because the second executive order is actually a lot worse.
Right.
So the other one, I was reading the Narrow Read article, and I might actually post that in here for anybody else to check out if they want to.
Yes, please
But
do. I don't,
it's it's
the administration, all I've been seeing is Trump supporters touting basically things that are meaningless. Proclamations that haven't happened, won't happen, have happened, but he has nothing. He and his administration have nothing to do with all this shit they've done, claim to have done, I should say, is just bullshit, meaningless bullshit. Except the one thing this administration has been really successful at so far is attacking trans people. It's been the one thing it seems that they are able to do. I mean, if you voted for Trump because you thought he'd do something about the egg prices, you thought he'd help you help make groceries more affordable. He'd do all these things to help you with your life. Unless you've been going around life with a trans person completely like beating the crap out of you and stepping all over you. It doesn't seem like he's been doing that because he seems to have solely been focusing on being really successful at attacking trans people.
Yeah, the second one actually is a lot scarier than that idea law one because this one is the one that defines kids as under 19. So it has 18-year-olds, which is particularly cruel because time is not on a trans person's side at all, especially at that age. Like, it's most effective to do the treatments the younger you are, and especially if you don't have to go through first puberty in the first place.
Right.
But it does a whole bunch of other things like describes gender affirming care as chemical and physical mutilation and abuse. It's got language in here that fucks with the W path, which is like standards for trans care. It's got mandates for the HSS to do a cast review style review of information. Some of the language that affects some sections of this don't actually have age limits on it, and it sets it up for when they want to come for adults later, very much so. And it weaponizes the DOJ for going after anybody who provides that care, and it also wants to send them at sanctuary states. So I encourage people to read it all the way through it. There's a lot of people saying like, yeah, these are all distractions, it's shock and awe and stuff. I'm like, some of this shit is distracting for a reason. Oh, also, the other thing I want to say here is, let me go there. Ren, last time she was on, she mentioned a Discord server. It's just a chat group, and we're only allowed to have 10 people in there because there's a size limit. But I did make a Discord server that I'll also paste in here. It's just me and Tony in there for now. But any of you regulars in chat that I see in other chats, you're welcome to come in and say hello and add me on Discord too. Mostly I've been using it for doing wellness checks on people, seeing how other people are, and this is kind of like strikes me as like low level organizing, like really really low level. It's just like networking and reaching out to people and seeing who needs help. So, but yeah, it's been kind of rough to watch this, especially since I have a bunch of MAGA coworkers who think all of this is fucking hilarious.
What did they say? Did they say anything to you?
No, they talk to each other, but they're like talking about the politics of what Donald Trump is doing, and none of them actually really care about like any economy or anything like that. They just think it's funny that migrants are being deported, and there's only two genders and all that other shit. I'm actually trying to escape that place. I have another job lined up. I just gotta wait for them to call me when they have the money to get me trained, but that job will be really good for me because I'll be working with other trans people. I'll be doing electrolysis, so I'll be helping trans people in the community, and hopefully it will pay me enough to where I can get my own apartment and have a couple of extra spaces for somebody who wants to flee red states. I'm hoping. So that's kind of my focus going forward on like what I'm going to do because that seems like the thing that I can do. But if you are a trans person out there, um, you know, remember that you need to survive. Like their stated mission goal is to be rid of us. So your existence is resistance. And whatever else you do, make sure you come home at the end of the day. And if you can, travel in pairs because that's just general good advice. Um, sorry, I don't really have much fun stuff to
No,
talk
I'm glad
about.
you called in. I wanted you to just, to this is, important stuff, and I wanted you to be able to say what you wanted to say. I don't really, I honestly don't even know what to say. It's been, it's been frustrating to watch. Like, why do people care so much about this? Like, why is it so important
Well,
for
especially with
people
the
to be?
like, I try to push.
And they'll
Well, I
say
try to push
the
back on them
children,
on a
but this
lot
is
of stuff
beyond
too.
the children. This is beyond the children.
Yeah. And I try to push back on a lot of this stuff. I have tried to explain to them like how immigration actually fucking works, but they don't want to hear any of that.
Yeah.
They
Well,
just want
the
to hate
immigration
people.
stuff has been pretty bad too. Yeah.
I you know, I yeah.
It's just, you have people who just
Speak.
it's this is like you have people who actually get things out of this. You have people who also believe in it ideologically because they are just, bigots. But then you also just have people who are, and this I think is the largest cohort, just so deeply unhappy with their life that
Well,
they need to get something out of hurting others, and it's just so
I mean,
ridiculous.
I will say one of my coworkers has a Nazi tattoo from when he used to
Well,
be in like a
there you go.
skinhead
Well,
gang. And
that's
I
his.
on that
I
note,
mean,
actually,
that's his.
he
Yeah.
he particularly was thrilled to see Elon's what did he call it? Roman salute. He knows what it is. We all know what it is. You know, avoid the swastikars. uh, but yeah. So, but like I said, and if you're not a trans person, you just know trans people, reach out, do wellness checks. It's rough.
Wait, what do you do? Does your work know they hired a guy with a Nazi tattoo?
Okay, he has a Nazi tattoo, but he also has the Star of David on his neck, and he thinks he's a
Oh.
Christian because the man has made some choices
Oh, so wait,
in life. Let me tell you.
I mean,
And you know what's even funnier than that?
it's
He also really, really plays up that like redneck cowboy macho like
is he Jewish? A
I
redneck
listen to
cow?
Toby Keith shit.
Is he Jewish though?
Yes, very much so.
Did
The man has
is
made
the Star of
choices. That's
David? Did he get the Star of David tattoo for his Judaism, or for his support of Israel?
he got it. He well, no, he hates Israel because he hates Zionists because he
Wait a bit. Whoa, this is one of the most
formerly
confused guys I've ever. Usually, the Jewish people who are critical of Israel are critical of
if
Israel
he
because they
dropped
are
all of that
so
shit,
they
he
it's
would
because they
actually
are
be kind of
left.
a
They're
decent
more left
guy.
wing.
But he's just
I've never come
what the
across
hell?
an anti-Israel right-wing Jew. I've never seen it before. Oh my God,
Well, no,
you found the needle in the
he's
haystack.
he's I think as he put it, like he's Jewish by relation, but he's very much on that like Jesus train. So
What?
yeah,
Wait, he's a Jew for
yeah,
Jesus?
yeah. No, he's super into like God's country and all that Christian crap. Sorry to any Christians out there, like this is the crap version. The kind of when you think right wing Christian, that's what he is.
Very confused.
Yeah, you've
Very
made some choices.
confused. All right, Charlie. Thank you for the call. Always a pleasure to talk.
Yeah. Have a good night, bud.
You too. All right. Let's go back to the phones. 646-303-7337. Let's go. Let's go back to the super chats while we wait. No, wait. We got some calls. I'll get to all the super chats. Don't worry. Let's take this. 304. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ren calling from Oregon. How are you doing, Matt?
Ren from Oregon. How you doing, Ren? What would you like to talk about?
Oh, my cat just threw up on the floor.
You just threw up on the floor?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my cat just threw up on the floor. He
your
evidently
cat.
ate something that he wasn't supposed to.
I thought
Yes,
you
my
said
cat. C-A-T.
I thought you said you just threw up
My
on the
orange
floor.
boy. But yeah, how are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm a bit tired, like I had a weird last couple of days. I was just kind of feeling ill and just sleeping a bunch and laying in my apartment, not really doing much of anything. Found my keys. I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping once I'm done with this call, and yeah, I'm just prepping for the days ahead.
I see.
I'm about to have 4 people in my apartment. About to have 4 people in a 500 square foot apartment.
Oh boy. That sounds like like a adventure.
It'll be an adventure that thank God will only last for 2 weeks.
There you go. All right,
Jasmine coming from Texas. Oh, go ahead.
What would you talk about?
I guess just relocating stuff and talking about I don't know, talking about some things with media that I'm doing, asking you the topics that you feel are most important through like kind of the lens of what I wanted to discuss on the thing I'm doing.
Sure. Let's.
What do you want to start with?
Ask away. No, you tell me. You just go ahead. We'll do.
Okay.
We got a few callers.
I got my radio show.
Okay.
I got like a terrestrial FM radio show, and so it's basically just going to be like syndicalist talk radio, but like kind of like a style that like approximates like a pundit like Limbaugh. I'm gonna be ruffling the papers. I've got all of this stuff. I've decided that I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but it's a really good name. I'm really proud of it. And basically it's like local events and national politics through the lens of like disability, worker, and like environmental like rights and struggles. And like I've zeroed in on like a couple of different things. I zeroed in on a Supreme Court case that's going to be coming out during this next term. I want to talk a bunch about like Lee Zeldin as Trump's pick to head the EPA. I found out about something entirely unknown to me called the Conservative Climate Caucus in the House of Representatives, of which Lee Zeldin is a founding member. I wanted to talk about like deregulation with like oil and natural gas drilling, bring up a couple of instances of like how neglected infrastructure for collecting natural gas has killed a lot of people in like suburban and rural Texas. Stuff where like a feeder pipe from a natural gas well from 40 years ago gets absolutely like not maintained at all. It's completely rusted out. It's basically like a cheese grater, but they keep running natural gas through it. Like some father sends his teenage daughter out with her 2 friends to go start the car and do some errands. They start the car, everything in the driveway blows up because there's a massive natural gas leak. Things like that.
Jeez.
I want.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's a lot of things, like there's a lot of stories like that. At least like I can think of at least like 8 or 9, but 2 that are like particularly stick in my mind is the one of I believe it was one of the oh good lord, who was it? the two really wealthy billionaires, the Kochs, yes. One of them was implicated in the case I just spoke about of, like a teenage girl and her friends dying in a natural gas explosion. I heard another one where a 2-year-old girl was burned to death in a natural gas explosion because of another thing of neglected infrastructure. And basically her older brother, her mother and father were all basically burned head to toe pretty horrifically. And thankfully everybody survived, unfortunately, except for her. But just lots of cases of stuff like that happening. And I wanted to talk about climate change and how that works, and how the idea that you're going to, like, as let's say you're the conservative climate caucus, you say, okay, well, we'll say that climate change is an issue and we care about it. Why doesn't the government just say, okay, let's give ExxonMobil $100 billion and ask them really, really nicely to fix climate change, and then they'll fix climate change. And that's basically like the idea that they have for like what like addressing climate change looks like for a conservative Republican. But it's like, I'm going to do a lot of explaining of like, okay, but that's not how this works, because you can't just build like electric infrastructure on top of an existing petroleum infrastructure and expect for that to reduce emissions at all. I'm going to talk about tariffs, how that could affect the price of fuel. Affect the price of fuel, affect the price of other goods. And specifically the very strange thing that like America does, where we spend hundreds of billions of dollars I think it's been like $2 trillion we've spent in like oil subsidies the last 20 years, where we subsidize the people who make oil and gasoline, and we give them money to make gas cheaper. And then we tax the people who consume gasoline at the pump. So basically, it's like a complete wash in terms of the federal budget. But what you manage to do is give away, hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to ExxonMobil and BP and other companies making gas and oil products. And you get that money directly by just taxing the people who consume that like petroleum-based stuff. And then how this like tariff is going to add on top of it, where basically you give money to the people who are already making money from it, and you get that by taking money from the people who are already giving money for it.
I'm glad you're starting this show because I think a lot of people don't realize that there are so many stories every day that don't even get covered. Like, imagine all the things that you hear. People just don't have the capacity to cover everything. So you're already off to, I think, a good start.
Thanks. I was joking. Gosh, what song was it? Do you know "Should I Ever Be a Soldier" by Joe Hill?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's great. It's from like the First World War. But the chorus of it is, should I ever be a soldier, beneath the red flag I'll fight. Should a gun I ever shoulder, it's to crush my boss's might. Join the army of the workers, men and women fall in line. Workers of the world unite, join the army for the fight for land and liberty. And I was like, man, it would be really funny if I just got my radio show, did like some like First World War communist labor songs, and immediately was off the air. I think I definitely will be doing some labor songs, but I'm going to try to preserve being on.
Are you writing your own? Because I know you make music. You're writing your own theme song, right? I assume.
No, I don't have a theme song for it.
You gotta write one.
The way that I got the show was, I just emailed them asking if I could do a show, and then I got a random call, and like the lady was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't give you like whatever notice. Can you come up and do like orientation?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I dropped everything and I went up there and I played fiddle for her, and she was like, pulled out the schedule, and she was like, "Okay, when do you want to be on?" And I was like, "Oh, cool." I'm gonna definitely do music. Like maybe I'll do like a song every 15 or 20 minutes, because I can do music pretty well for radio. But like I was gonna ask, like, out of all the stories you've been covering, all the things that you've been looking into, what's like one thing out of like environment, labor, and like disability stuff that you think should be covered?
Oh my God, you're being very specific here. I don't know, honestly. In that specific category of topics, let me think. You know what? I don't think enough is being, and obviously this is big right now. I'm sure there's like other things that should be covered as well. But I'm thinking in terms of A, what I know, and B, what's currently in the news. I think enough isn't covered about um, how immigration and labor affect each other in ways that I think people
Is
don't
a
think.
labor issue.
Yes. Yes.
Just
How
like in the
for
sense that like I oh god.
no, you go ahead. I think you're on to what I'm saying. I could already tell. But basically in the sense that like
Well, I
they're
I was
obviously
thinking
interconnected,
I've
but not
argued
in the way
so
people
much with
think.
people over this and like and spoken about this point that like with H-1B, if you just made those people American citizens, if you made things better for immigrants by giving them less of a precarious situation in society, like that would make it easier for the people who live here to compete in the marketplace. And it would make it to where the bosses couldn't exploit those like immigrant workers just without limit. If you made things better for immigrants, you would make it better for every worker in the country, you know, citizen or non-citizen.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you were
No,
thinking
that's
along
part
the
of it for
lines of?
sure. That's absolutely part of it.
What
Hello?
was the other part of it that you were thinking of? I want to.
Oh no, like in terms of like how and like labor issue in terms of like for example unemployment and how immigration is not affected in the way people think it does. People really do believe that you know there's these undocumented workers out here who are taking American jobs, like jobs from Americans, which is just not the case.
Yeah, I think it's also important to like specify that like, you know, it's not just a thing of like these jobs will not be done by people who aren't immigrant workers. You know, like it's not just that sort of thing. It's also like you need to humanize them as like these are people who have wants and desires and neighbors and family that contribute to our communities, that pay into our systems of social support, you know,
Right,
and that deserve a place in American society and American life.
right. All right, Ren. Thanks for the call.
Oh yeah. One last thing before I go.
Sure, go
Those
ahead.
four people, those four people. So like, I'm gonna be one of the four people, but like two people from like one of the discords I'm in, we're just like we're leaving everything on the East Coast. Like we just left our lease or whatever. We're gonna get on a Greyhound and like go across the country. Can we like come to Oregon? And I was like, yeah, sure. and and so they get here on the 2nd, and my friend Jasmine gets here from Texas on the 5th. And so I'm like very pumped because like a lot of very like-minded people are congregating, you know, be it in places like Minneapolis and like Twin Cities, or you know, places like Portland and Seattle. I'm very pumped about that.
Sounds good. I agree. Be pumped because you should be.
All right, take care. Thanks for taking the call, Matt.
No problem. Thank you. Let's go to the next caller. 419. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Hansi.
Hansi, how's it been, buddy? Long time no talk.
Yeah, I think you were trying to avoid me.
No. I don't know your number, so I don't even. How could I avoid you?
Well,
If it was Skype, you could
well,
make that argument. But I don't know your number, man.
no, but the thing is, I have to use a different app to call your phone because it's long distance in Canada, right? So,
I apologize.
yeah, so by not using Skype, I think you're trying to fuck with me a little bit.
No. What was it to talk about, though, Hansi?
Well, I want to talk about how like when I've been calling the show, even though you haven't really like disagreed completely, like I told you the overview of where this was gonna go, and it feels like a lot of you on the left love to play a naive baby face, and everyone's
Where
actually
did I disagree?
surprised. Like,
Whoa, let's get to this. Where did I disagree with you?
what's that?
Where did I disagree with you that ended up proving you right?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying with the I'm not trying to go. I'm just saying with the cold. Maybe people should take dumbed down conspiracy theorists' hands more seriously than a lot of. I'm just saying, man. Like, listen, I like listening to you guys, but I feel like a lot of
Hold
you
on.
guys.
What are you talking about, though? You have to tell me specifically what are you talking about.
Well, no, I'm saying the overall view of the fundamentalist shit.
What?
Like,
Give me
okay,
something. Give me something.
okay. I've always said on your show that it doesn't. If fundamentalists control the fucking the entire country, the Democrats are never going to be able to get shit fucking done. So when Trump gets into office, it looks like he's getting shit done. It's like, oh, there's no excuse for why the Democrats didn't do it. But the Democrats are booked like shitty baby-faced idiots who are not supposed to get the job done because the anti-establishment guy is supposed to fucking win, basically.
Well, I don't think this was like set up that way. Democrats are just really bad at politics.
See, this is what I'm talking about, man. You're a good guy, but you guys dumb down the fucking narrative.
So you think like Democrats are working in tandem with I mean they are now. I mean in terms of voting what they want.
Well,
but you think Democrats wanted to lose? I mean again,
okay,
you could argue
Matt,
that they
Matt, okay, Matt, okay, Matt, look at it this way, okay? If I believe fundamentalists control the fucking country, right? Fundamentalist billionaires that everyone dumbs down and thinks that they're useless, even though they're very smart fucking people. If they control shit, right, and they have an end times prophecy, wouldn't it be in their best interest to enact a bunch of policies that get us there because they have an escape plan? Like, doesn't that make a little bit more sense that this is the way it's supposed to be going? I don't understand why you guys got to dumb it down a little bit more.
I don't think it's dumbed down. I just don't think I just think Democrats are just really bad at their job. I think that's like very simple in terms of how bad they are. I don't think there's some like
this is what Matt, this is why the left is never gonna fucking win. This is why the right wing has dominance over the conspiratorial, because there is conspiratorial shit going on.
But the right doesn't think the Democrats are in cahoots with them either, though.
What the centrist Democrats are definitely what? Like, you actually think that Biden and Kamala want to win?
Of course they wanted to win. Why would they want to lose?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Because the fundamentalists are gonna get control of it anyways, though, bro.
Nah. I don't think the Democrats.
Yeah, I can hear you, but Matt, okay, fine. There's a world.
I think you're giving the Democrats too much credit.
That I'm fucking right.
I think you're giving the Democrats too much credit.
See, Matt. Matt. This is how you protect the system, bro. You pretend that these people, because they do dumb shit for the discourse and entertainment dollar, that they don't know what they're doing. This is why, but no one will ever be educated, bro. And I'm telling you, a lot of you alt media types, I think you guys also add to the propaganda as well.
What?
In my personal opinion.
You think I'm what? Come on, Hansi.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Like, no. What I'm saying, I'm not saying you're a bad guy. What I'm saying is you have to play within the limitations of kayfabe within the political fucking world, basically.
I'm not doing any of that though. I'm just giving you my honest
opinion.
I
wrong?
I don't. No, you're wrong. Because I don't think.
You're literally a part of, dude. You're literally part of an institution. You're literally part of an institution called leftist mafia. It was called like
it's
you're
just
not
a
fooling
name.
anybody,
It's just a
right?
name.
That's symbolism right there.
It's just a name. What was the
It's
name?
a symbolism, bro. You can't admit you can't.
Hello?
you can't admit the Yeah, have you watched Sopranos? You can't admit the existence of this thing. Basically, I'm the crazy guy, but you know I'm
I don't
right
think you're
deep
crazy.
down.
I don't think you're crazy. Whoever said you're crazy? I never said you're crazy.
But I'm just. Okay, fine. You don't fine. At least you don't say I'm crazy, but you do gaslight me a little bit by acting a little bit dumb, bro. Dude. This is why they're fucking winning, man. And I feel like a lot of you are gonna go to the right wing fucking side, anyways.
Me? You think I am?
You know?
You think I'm gonna become a right winger?
Well, dude, everyone seems to be pivoting that way.
Have I ever done anything
Am
to
I
make
not
you think
supposed to
that?
learn my lessons?
Have I ever done anything to make you think that?
I mean, on certain topics in leftist mafia, a little bit when you guys limit some narratives, sometimes I do, but
What?
I just think you're playing the game. I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't think you're a bad
If
guy.
I'm playing, if I'm playing
I
the
think
game,
sometimes.
if I'm playing the game, I'm really bad at it. Let's put it this way: it's January 2025. If I was playing some game
See,
and shifting to the right, why would I just relaunch Scam Economy instead of just being like, I'm a crypto guy now? Let's make lots of money.
see, you're doing. See what? See, this is what you do. You're doing Jake Uger level of denial here, bro.
How?
Listen, bro. I understand everyone has to make some fucking money somehow. I'm just saying,
Dude, if this was a money play, if this was a money play,
political shows now.
if this was a money play, it's a
No.
very stupid
What I'm
one.
saying is all. No, well, I mean, everyone says that, but I mean, but what I'm saying is all these political
very
shows
little
now,
from this, my friend. I make very little from this.
No, dude, you're doing the Howard Stern angle. You're doing the Howard Stern angle.
How
where
Howard
you
Stern
go,
makes a lot of money.
Poor...
If I made Howard Stern money, I
No,
would
no,
not
but-
be.
No.
I would not
No,
be.
no, no. What I'm saying is, you're a bunch of you on when you guys are starting out. I know that you're actually not making any money. But that doesn't mean there isn't a plan for you to make money. But what I'm saying is when Howard Stern was broke as well, he would say, how am I...
Howard Stern was never broke.
What propaganda
Howard
am I
Stern was
doing?
never broke. Howard Stern was never broke.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, he fooled people. I mean, he fooled people into thinking that is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
What I'm trying to say... what I'm trying to say is that when a bunch of you become characters in the fucking, political discourse, I feel a lot of you are like kind of like agents, and you're being put into a fucking game. And now I'm throwing you off your course, and I'm like, I'm glitching the fucking game because I'm not supposed to be breaking the kayfabe of what's going on.
I think you watch too much pro wrestling.
Oh, shut up! Dude, shut up! Matt. See, as a pro wrestling fan, you're a fucking asshole, bro. Matt, you're a fucking... Matt, honestly, man, you're a...
Listen, you gotta, Hansi, you gotta pick.
You
either watch WWE or AEW. I think watching both has been bad for your mind. Your mental health is too much wrestling. Too much wrestling. Everything's at work. I just worked you into a shoot, brother. That doesn't work for me, brother.
You're pulling a Howard Stern. You're pulling a Howard Stern right now by fucking making it seem like I'm watching too much wrestling. In fact, I haven't been watching that much wrestling. I've been watching more
brother. You're working yourself into a shoot, brother.
Dude, I don't need to watch pro wrestling anymore. I don't need to watch pro wrestling anymore. Politics is pro wrestling now, bro. And we're basically
been pro wrestling for a while.
Attitude.
Yep.
What I'm saying is we're in the post-attitude era. We're in the ruthless aggression era where the storylines fucking suck, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. The storyline is as bad as it can get. Yeah, listen, I really do think though that we are in just this we're in the ebb and flow of how this is going to be from now on. And this time it didn't go, it never goes our way, but it especially didn't go our way this time around. And I think in 2 years, things are going to look very different. I think in 4 years, things are going to look very different. And then in another 2 years, things will look very different. And then in another 4 years, things will look very different. I don't know how we break out of this cycle. I don't know if the country really is moving to the right or if it's just that ebb and flow that I mentioned. It's already a very right-wing country.
Are you seriously saying that you don't know if it's gonna move to the right? Dude, dude, what they call there's a bunch of shit happening that's normalizing for them to be able to do
Dude,
what they've been doing.
do you not
with all
remember?
the-
Do you not remember the Bush years? And then how things we thought then, wow, things couldn't get any more to the right. Like we're literally
yo,
a war
but Matt,
hungry. Go
but
ahead.
Matt, but okay, fine, but Matt, that era was designed to show you what the future was gonna hold. That was the early stages of their fundamentalist plantation. They gave you some hope of wokeness in the 2010s, and
Well,
there was supposed to be
it's not
done.
wokeness that I got hopeful for. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I think
No.
no. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is they made Obama this controversial figure that was used to justify why what's it called you saw a little bit more social consciousness into the fucking discourse and all that. And then the right wing took it back with Trump. Their guy got screwed over to ensure that they got power again. I'm saying that now this is going to be Bush on steroids. What's coming? And I think a lot of you in the media circus have known about this, and I think I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of people.
I mean,
you
know what I thought. I was completely wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong this time around. My guess, my estimate of where things were going was completely wrong, and I've been very open about that.
but
don't.
But what I'm saying is, you knew better, though, bro.
What?
Hello,
What'd you say,
Matt?
Yeah, I hear you. What did you say? I missed what you said. You cut out for a second.
I know what I'm saying, but I'm saying a bunch of media people know better, though. Like I'm saying people that are really established.
Like people in mainstream media, of course, they fucking suck.
No, even alt media as well, bro.
Like, give me an example of who? Who? I agree that some of them suck too, but who?
I feel like like alt media online, like Tucker Carlson, TYT. Sometimes I feel
Tucker
like
Carlson, you need to do better, my friend. Do better, Tucker. Tucker, you need to do better.
No. And I also think you guys prop up Hassan way too much, and I think he's also
Hassan.
I don't believe that he's.
Hassan's not even in these conversations. Like Hassan is in a whole different. I don't even think Hassan considers himself to be in this like industry. He's like a
he
Twitch
is though,
guy.
bro.
He's a Twitch guy who talks about politics, but I don't ever hear about when people are talking about like podcasters and news online media shows. Hassan is he's obviously a major figure overall, but he's in like his own little world, honestly, if you ask me. And that's not a knock at him, it's just the truth. He's not in that same he's got his own thing going.
No, but dude, people don't get propped up. But like celebrities and all these people don't get propped up unless you're pushed by a system. Is what I'm saying. And people pretend like this guy's like this greatest independent me. I'm not saying he doesn't do good shit or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, dude, a lot of people on the internet on streaming. A lot of these guys are fucking funded by other corporations under the fucking table somehow. You know what I mean?
He isn't, as far as I know. I mean, I've never seen anything that showed me that he was.
Dude, okay, hold on. I'll
in
give
fact,
you an example.
he's been upfront about toning down.
You're not taking. No, okay, no. Hold on. Let me explain that. And you'll probably disagree with me, but I also believe now in the discourse that what's it called, corporations and products will always be in the news for things where people will talk about it. And you're basically advertising it under a culture war type of deal. And it's like, oh, we're taking money under the table without advertising, basically. And I noticed that Howard Stern to do that as well. And I noticed every single person does that as well, in my personal opinion. Like, I think there's nefarious things going on under the table, bro.
Well,
Hello?
I have no proof to say that's the truth in terms of Hassan, but of course there's probably some shady shit going on somewhere. In terms of independent media, of course, I wouldn't surprise me. There's a specific independent media channel that I regularly, I mean, aside from the right wing ones that I always critique, there's a certain independent media channel that I've been very consistently critiquing. That you very much are aware of, who I've criticized for taking big deals, like changing the name of their TV studio to a crypto company.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that crypto company is always being talked about. So these companies don't care if people know that they're sponsoring shows. But because we keep talking about the crypto company, that it makes people, it's like we're promoting it without really being aware that we're promoting it. That's what I'm saying. So people do that shit, and then they can claim, like Hassan does, that he's not taking crypto money and all that.
Well, if you have any information, if you have any information about anyone in specific, Hansi, definitely send it my way, and I'll take a look at it for sure. I mean, I get what you're saying, and
I'm okay. Listen, bro. I didn't want to come at you. I didn't want to come at you.
I don't think you're coming at me. I'm having a good time with this conversation, Hansi. If I wasn't, I would have said goodbye. But
no. I get that. But with the call, here's the thing. I haven't talked to you in a while, and I thought you were avoiding me and shit. So
no, why would I avoid you, dude? I wouldn't avoid you
because
I love these sort of conversations. I've let you know before. I love debates with people. This isn't really a debate, but it's close to it. I love that.
No, I get it, man. But okay, so listen, man. I hope you're well. I just wanted to call it and vent for a bit, but thank you for taking my call.
No, thank you. Have a great night.
Peace out, man.
All right. We'll do one more call if there's a call out there. Let me let's go to the phones here. Not the phones. What am I saying? There are calls coming in. All right, I wanted to finish with the super chats, but I'll take this next call. 773. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. It's Rachel from Chicago. How are you?
Hi, Rachel from Chicago. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I mean, my blood pressure, unfortunately, is surprisingly elevated after the last call.
Wow,
I didn't realize how uber defensive I could be about Hassan taking crypto money. Like anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, I defended him because it's not true. But I don't know. I don't know what Hansi was talking about when it came to the Hassan thing.
I know.
But
no, it's all good. I'm not trying to talk smack. He's off the phone. It's not polite. So I don't want to go there. It's all good. But everything else is also the worst. Yeah, nice. I figured I would call in because things are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure exactly what I wanted to say because there's too much crazy stuff going on. I think one thing I did think of a couple minutes ago, and I was thinking about it, was how I messaged a good friend of mine who's not super political, but even she knows a lot of stuff that's going on. That's when you know we've crossed the Rubicon. If she knows, stuff that's happening in the world, honestly. But the other day when it was floated that FEMA was going to get potentially disbanded and defunded and done away with, that was like the first thing that truly kind of broke me. Like I was working and I actually started crying, which is not a normal reaction that I have, but somehow that was the thing that did it for me. Was the idea.
The FEMA thing, yeah.
Like,
hey, it's good. I honestly, like, for me personally, like, am so overwhelmed. And I remember this happened the last 4 years he was president. It's just so much shit flying at you that sometimes you're not even ready for like what's going to just like connect with your brain more so than the other things. Like sometimes
Right.
it's something you never even realized would do it because you never even considered it. But then there you go, it happens. Yes.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, it was really like it was surprising and it was revealing for that reason. It hadn't occurred to me that there could be levels to some things that were just so outside of the bounds of what in my mind could happen. Like in the back of my head, it truly sounded to me like he wants us to die. Like he doesn't just want, because I mean, this is like the wildfires are still burning. And we've got people in North Carolina barely out of, floodwaters. And we've got people in Florida with their coastline eroding and their homes washing away and no insurance companies will insure. I mean, the list goes on. And so we're not only making sure that climate change accelerates, and we're not only making sure that people have basic functions stripped from them, and the poorest of people and the most weak of people and the most at risk of people in this country are teetering on the edge of destruction. But let's take away the one thing that's like, okay, if a horrific natural disaster befalls you, no matter where you are in this country, the federal government will step in. Once that's gone, well, I guess, the goal really is to just wipe out a lot of us. And so I know that they haven't continued on with that as a talking point right now. We've got a lot of other big problems to deal with. But, that was the thing. I guess it's when I realized, like, okay, this isn't good. And it's been like, what, a week and a half? It feels like it's been like a month or a year. I mean, it feels like the longest week and a half ever.
Right.
In the history of the world. So
it'll eventually fly by. When I look back now at 2017 to 2020, I'm like, how that happened? Like it went by.
That's
like
true.
It felt like forever.
You
maybe
got a
then,
point, man.
but
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good to remember too, because I really, I have.
I mean, are you ready? Are you ready
to?
Are you ready to fully accept that in just like a month and a half, COVID will have hit the U.S. for the first time, like with the whole pandemic shutdown, 5 years ago? Doesn't that feel like just yesterday?
It's crazy. It really does, though. Actually, it really does. And it's like
COVID was half a decade ago. COVID was half a decade ago.
Crazy. It's freaking crazy. My kid was a baby when COVID took off, and it doesn't feel like she was. Like, it feels like she must have been older because it wasn't that long ago. But when I think about the dates, she was like a year and a half old, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
So, no, time flies real quick. And I think if nothing else, having Trump as our president when COVID happened at first, maybe prepared us for, the horrors of Trump 2, Electric Boogaloo Unleashed, like whatever the hell this is that we're now living through.
My dad likes to say, the days are long, but the years are like, I forgot exactly what it says, but something like the days are long, but the years go by fast, or something like that. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
like, yeah. Well, before you know it, it'll be 2028. And the Democrats will blow it in some brand new way.
I sure as hell hope so. Exactly. I'll let you go, but I gotta ask you this: did you see these ridiculous tweets yesterday when this first all came down about freezing all of the federal funding to everything, grant programs, everything?
They try to gaslight. They try to pretend they're not doing it because they know Trump's supporters will listen to whatever they say, and you can just see it like. Literally just go on Facebook and see some of the posts that go around. Like, how like Facebook, you can make that weird post format where like you could give like the background a color and just write text and the text is all super big and it looks almost like a poster, but it's like a text post. You see that shit all the time. Yeah. Trump just freed 80 children who were missing from their parents. Where did you see that? I saw it online somewhere. It's not true. There's no news about it. Yeah, that's what they want you to believe, but Trump did it. They are living in their own world.
Exactly.
Anything
that's always,
say, Like, I don't
Yep.
understand how these people exist. Like, I don't understand how they wake up in life, like wake up every
How
day,
they've made it
and
this far.
like
And,
how they even could put their
yeah.
fucking socks on their feet. Honestly, like
Right. No, I
I
know. I
don't
don't
like.
know how
It's
people
one
have
thing to be
made it
like
to this point in their
It's one thing
lives
to be
when
like
they're still alive at 60 on Facebook.
like
These
it's one
people
thing
are
to
just
be like
they'll
I'm a
believe literally anything.
Like it's one thing to be like, I'm a Republican. I believe that these people shouldn't be here. These people shouldn't have equal rights. These people shouldn't have to pay their fair share in taxes. These people should pay more, even though they're
Right.
poorer. That's one thing. I get it. There are people, fully capable
Sure.
people who believe that stuff. In fact, those are people who are usually very successful in business and in life when it comes to money,
Mm-hmm.
because they are absolutely
Right.
ruthless and have no problem just making money
Mm-hmm.
hand over fist in any way, shape, or form, stepping over whoever they want to step over to get there. I get those people. Those people I
Right.
understand. It's the fucking
Well, yeah, they're
morons.
predictable. They're
Yeah,
acting for a specific
right,
reason to a specific goal. I
right.
don't
It's the
like their
fuck.
goal and I don't like how they're acting, but at
Right,
least they're predictable in so much as
right,
you know what they want and you know what they're doing to get it, and it
right,
all makes sense.
right.
These
The
other
morons
people
I
are just
don't
off the
get.
fucking wall. There's no rhyme or reason. They
Right. The
just
morons I don't get are the people who are literally sharing posts right now thinking that Donald Trump went to the Pacific Northwest, whatever they think that is,
right.
and there's a big fucking
Yeah.
faucet up there, like the world's
Faucet.
largest water
The faucet.
faucet, like literally a
What?
faucet.
What is
And Trump
that?
went over there and he turned the faucet on and went, "Let the water flow in California." And they go, "Whoa, Trump did that." Like, you have to be a fucking moron. Like,
Right.
you have to be an
Listen, one
actual
of my
idiot.
favorite things right now is to go online and to I go on Reddit sometimes. I mean, I'm on Reddit all the time, but I go on Reddit and I look and I see sometimes people that, have a couple brain cells to rub together that are thinking and talking about the same stuff we are right now. These people, these dumbass things they think, and Trump and the dumbass things he says, and they try and figure out what Trump's dumbass meant when he said certain things. And, recently when he said all of that, there's someone in there saying, well, Trump probably meant this and that by the faucet. You're giving him too much credit, okay? Don't give him any credit. They're not thinking anything. They heard something that's ridiculous, and God only knows why, but they believe it. And now they're not only believing it themselves, but they're making a point to tell others about it too. And somehow they're finding a target audience of people that also believe this shit. And they will repeat it back to you, and they will die on that hill. And I'm going to let them die on that hill alone. At a certain point, it's like so maddening to look at someone and say, the sky is blue and it's up there, and say, the sky is blue and it's up there. No, it's not down there. It's not black. The sky is blue. It's up there, and have them argue with you. At a certain point, it makes you want to bang your head against the wall, or at least it feels like you're banging your head against the wall. There's a lot of stupidity out there, for sure, and it's really easy to get people to believe ridiculous things.
Well,
But no, the tweet, I think it was Hakeem Jeffries yesterday. He oh, sorry, real quick, I'm sorry. Hakeem Jeffries basically said, well, there's I don't know, I couldn't find the tweet, but it's like, there's one God and he's on the throne, like something very religious in response to this. And then there was someone else that was like one of the committees, their response to all of this basically was like, well, this is really bad. It's like an official governmental committee. Like, yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say right now. You have nothing else to say, but this is really bad. You're supposed to be in charge. It just didn't give me a lot of confidence in our elected leaders. So, but mostly Democrats are giving me zero confidence. So anyway, I'm glad we have you. That's really what I think I wanted to call and say. I appreciate the fact that you take calls. I'm really glad that you're back. I love Scam Economy. It's a great time for it because everything's, again, the worst.
right.
And, I'm really glad that you and a bunch of other independent media that I don't think is selling out or going Republican, for the record.
Well, you just wait,
I'm really
because
glad that
you're in for a real treat,
sure.
Rachel.
I know.
Get ready for the surprise of
I
your
will
life.
be here, and I'm
Before
ready
you know
to
it,
jump out of a cake.
Before you know it, my heart will
sound
be
of
going out to
Republican,
all of you. I'm sure. You just wait and see. No, I'm not going.
No, I bet it will be.
Oh
like
my
that amazing
God!
religious,
I haven't even
very highly
talked
religious
about
and
that
famed
yet.
priest
See, the
at that
funny thing is,
rally.
I actually was ready to
Oh my
I was
God.
like,
There's
I was
so
sitting
much.
down.
This is the whole point.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say? Hello?
Oh no, I was going to say that the whole point of this whole thing, and I think it was Mike from the Humanist Report maybe that put out a video today. I don't remember who, but I'm pretty sure it was him. The whole point is the shock and awe. The whole point is the overwhelming, constant, day in, day out, like amped up from last time, because it was like this last time, but it wasn't enough. Now it's like overdrive, too much stuff to cover. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough news, people out there that can cover. It's just too much stuff. And so I think that is the point. It's like not just distraction, but it's really getting people to be overwhelmed, despondent, and disillusioned, defeated.
Yeah.
Like
No,
there is a point to all of this. I think about 50% of it is just for that purpose, and it's not even going to go anywhere. They just want to flood the zone. With a bunch of crazy stuff.
No, that's what Steve Bannon's position was. That's a whole strategy. Just flood the zone with shit. He said that. There's so much that you can't
Right,
catch
yeah.
everything.
Yep. Nope. You're right. Yeah, and it's not like they didn't do. It's like this is all just what they did last time, but the guardrails are off, and it's like the 2.0 version. It truly is. He's got literally nothing to lose. He learned a lot about what he could get away with because hell, he came in, first thing he did practically was release all the insurrectionists. Like there's nothing confining this, and he knows that a bunch of stuff's going to get held up in court, but that's not the point. It doesn't matter. It's not. I don't think they care what actually works and what doesn't. I think the point is to just throw a bunch of garbage at the wall, make us all pretty scared and miserable. Even plenty of Republicans that voted for him. The leopards are eating the faces. These people are feeling very regretful, as they should be, because they didn't know their Medicare might get cut, and they didn't know their food stamps might get cut, and they, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, it's but thank you for the reminder.
No, great call. I appreciate it.
It'll hopefully be over. Yeah. Thanks for picking up. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night.
I think it'll be a really horrible 4 years, but at the end of it all, we're gonna go, wow, that went by fast. But while we're living in it,
so I'm holding you to it, man.
While we're living in it, though, it's gonna feel like forever. I'll tell you that much too. Have a great night.
Yeah, I know. All right, you too, Matt. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. That's it for calls. Let's go to finish up these super chats. All right. All right. Let's see. Katia with a super chat. Such a sad state of affairs we are in. Absolutely. Tracy Eva dropped a super sticker, the little pear guy. Thank you so much. Ooh, woke crypto bro with a $100 Canadian super chat. $100 Canadian. That's still a good chunk of change in real money, as in US dollar. But thank you, woke crypto bro. Wow. Just for that, hold on. Let me see about pulling your post up on the stream here. If you're gonna give me that much, here we go. Let's read this. Here's some Trump scam coin money for you. Why not use the scam economy to fund scam economy? Enjoy the money taken from dumbass Trump supporters. Whoa, crypto bro, is that what you do? Based on what you said, here's some Trump scam coin money for you. It sounds like, you could be joking about specifically making it from the Trump coin, but it sounds like you do invest in crypto. You have a LGBTQ flag Bitcoin logo as your avatar. Woke crypto bro. How would you recommend me scamming dumbass Trump supporters, or just partaking in the scam economy? I'd be interested in your thoughts. Thanks for the super chat. The Tungsten Wire with a super chat. Getting burnt out is no excuse. Give us content. Just kidding. Take care of yourself. We need you, buddy, especially now. Yeah, I'm getting back into it. I'm obviously getting back into it. I'm still figuring things out, but I'm getting that newsletter out. It seems to be the thing that I need to do. and that'll help keep things, that way I could knock things out that I want to touch upon, but maybe don't have the time for a full-fledged video or stream for. There's a lot. And also, I hate using social media now. I don't know what happened. I used to be on Twitter all the time. I just hate posting. I hate it. Not that Blue Sky or is bad or whatever. Just I'm on there and I post when I can, but I think Twitter made me hate social media. And I'm still on there though, because you got to use all the platforms you can because you got the followers on all the platforms. I'll figure it out. The Tungsten Wire with a super chat again. You expect to be paid for your work, capitalist? Yeah, no good. Tokyo Hollins with a super chat. I can't stand how the right always tries to use children as the reason they do things. Children are assholes. My 3-year-old just stole my last Reese's peanut butter cup. Never do anything for children. Renee with a super chat. Unionize everyone everywhere. Bay Photo with a super chat. Lots of blue MAGA libs online are trying to cancel Ariana over a couple of tweets. Have you seen the attacks she's been receiving? What? No, what happened? What did she say? What did Ariana do? What did she say? I have no idea. No surprise. Ariana getting into trouble. Oh, apparently she said something about they're accusing her of dissuading people from voting against Trump. It says, not my Michael. I got no idea. It's a stupid conversation to have in January 2025. It's that simple. Let's go to Twitch. Play the Board. Resubscribe for 6 months at tier 1. Subscriber for 3 months. Thank you, Play the Board. Looney Tunes 9000 resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1. They've been subscriber for 13 months. Full year. Hell yeah, says Looney Tunes. Thank you so much, Looney Tunes. Mountain Dude resubscribed at Prime. They've been subscribed for 3 months. Gotta put my crypto bucks into Binder. Thank you, Mountain Dude. Django Fett resubscribed at Prime. They've been subscribed for 5 months. Scammed, says Django Fett. Thank you so much. It's the Django Fett, isn't it? And then I think that's everybody. All right, folks. Once again, patreon.com/MattBinder to support the show if you can. YouTube.com/MattBinder. Twitch.tv/MattBinder. And scameconomy.com for the podcast version of the show. And of course, subscribe to the newsletter at disruptionist.com. Disruptionist.com. And with that said, who should I rate on Twitch? Let's see who's on. Let's see. We got. Who am I rating? Let's see. Oh, Riverboat Jack is on. It's been a while since I've rated Riverboat Jack. Let's rate Riverboat Jack. All right, everyone. I'll be on Majority Report tomorrow. I'll be on Leftist Mafia tomorrow. See you all real soon.